What's up, everybody? This review, we're taking a look at the Action Force. I believe this is the con exclusive Sidewinder. I think they just showed this at a couple of cons, and then of course it is on their webpage. But yeah, this is the Dia de los Muertos Sidewinder. So we got our Day of the Dead, and it looks pretty cool. I like the packaging. I like the colors on it. I like we got our skulls, and you've got different if you can see on the packaging, some of the skulls, they're actually different. So here you've got the standard head up there. Let's see, we got a snake head there, if you can see that. See if I can bring the light in there. Yeah. Then I believe there's a spider webbed head, yeah, up top. So you got the three different variants for or three different types for this one. You got two variants. So this is going to be the standard version here. And you can see all the different accessories in here. You get that background. Two other versions. Again, one has the snake head paint on there, and one has the spider web across the top. So yeah, I got this one. I didn't go to a con to get this one, but I did want it. I knew they were going to put it up on the website. I grabbed me a couple of them, just two, but just because I thought the body was going to be awesome and the figure looked great. So I knew I could keep one like this if they weren't the variants. I could open one and keep it normal, and then I can open one and change it up, because a lot of those parts are interchangeable with other figures. So it'd be pretty cool, so that you can army build a little bit, get a little unit. So yeah, you got this bubble here. You got that awesome background. You can see all the different accessories. We've got this collector friendly packaging. You're going to slide the card out. We've got our file card here. We've got our action points. Really, really cool. And man, I am liking the new style that they've gone to. And man, Valaverse has been showing off a lot of really cool stuff. So I did get a couple other things from that sale as soon as these went up, and I'll review those later, but or at another time. But yeah, for now, let's get this guy open and check him out. So here's Sidewinder outside of the packaging, and he looks really cool, really awesome. I love the color scheme of him. Just initially looking at him, it looks really, really nice. We'll take a better look at him in just a second. As always, we'll kind of go to those accessories. So we've got a couple of hands. He's got the set of hands that's on him, and then we have another 3 sets. So it should be 4 sets in total. So you get these hands here, kind of cupped, able to go underneath the rifle. Of course, you got like ledge holding hands, or just holding underneath one of the, or maybe they're actually holding another part of the hand. You can do a bunch of different little poses with him. But you got one for the left and right. You got left and right closed fists. Left and right, like C hands, holding hands. And then he's got trigger fingers on him. So these are just a little tighter, like maybe you're holding a machete, a bat, something like that. Something a little bit tighter. Not quite for pistols, but you can try to fit something else in there. You get this here. Pretty nice little machete. So you got this little sheath here. Looks good. And then you get the machete, which looks great. So you got this nice little silver on like the sharper end of the blade, and then you've got this. It looks kind of dark on the backside, but when the light hits it at a certain angle, it looks almost like they're the same. The way it's blending is really weird. Pretty cool though. And then you got the black handle. I like the look of that, like the sculpt of that. That's pretty cool. You get this AK. Looks really good. You got the wood. Doesn't quite look like wood, but it is supposed to be wood. Then you've got your mag. Let's see if we can. Yep, mag drops out. Pretty cool. Got it all taped up so you can flip that and reverse it. You get the bandages there, the tape there. Slides right on in. 203 launcher. Looks good. No scope on it or anything like that. No red dots, nothing like that. Guess he's just going irons on this. And then you get a couple of, these are just the suppressors. Yeah, I don't know that it's meant for the AK. It does kind of slide over. But he's got a couple Uzis on him. And I think these are what that's meant for. You get this helmet. Black. Got some green in there. That sculpt there. We got one of them has the little mic. And they do kind of rotate. Get that down. Got different holes right there for different attachments. Got the front hole right there where it has night vision. And we'll just kind of plug that right on in. Fold it up. Fold it down. Nice colors on there. I like that a lot. We've got the little stand. Look at that tan. Dirt. Nothing to it really. No dry brushing or anything like that. Got that nice emblem in there. I'm gonna leave it like that. And that's it for the accessories that were separated. Now let's take a look at him. So looking at our Sidewinder, he looks pretty cool. We'll start out with the little Uzi since we just got done with the other accessories. So he's got two of these going. Pretty plain, no dry brushing, anything like that, but the scope looks good. And then again, we've had the suppressor, and we had like two of them. Throw that on there. Looks strange. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. I'm gonna feel really weird if that's not, but yeah. Goes right on there like that. And he's got two of them, so one for each. Get this one out of his hand, and let's take a look at him. So look at that. That looks pretty cool. I like the sculpt. I mean, look at that hair, the fading. Like, that's done really well. Really, really nice. You got this awesome face paint for the Day of the Dead. And again, there's two other variants to this. One with blue and one with red. And then the design on the forehead is different. But this one right here looks great by itself also. And again, that hair fade looks good. You got the tattoo on the neck, which looks so awesome. That's done really, really well. Like, that's so cool. I love that they do that. You got his vest here. And it's not just plain colors. You've got the, Mexican flag there in the back. You've got the knife, or not the knife, the scissors. Like his little med kit right there. Really, really cool. Gray with the black. Got the black sleeves, long sleeves underneath the vest. Got the little green trim around the neck. Got the different holsters. So this one looks like a little suppressor here. Yep, and it does slide out. So he's got his belt with little things already in it. So then we've got this pistol, which looks really nice. We've got this cool little design in it. Red dot on there, little light or laser. Let's see. Trying to see if that little mag will drop out of there. Not sure. I'm thinking no, but you never know. It could just be stuck really good in there. I'll leave it alone. If it's stuck, that's fine with me because I don't want to lose something that small. You get little grenades in his thigh holster. Those are all removable. And then again, you got a silencer here, a little suppressor there. More grenades on the back of it, or in this other side, thigh holster. Really, really cool. This guy's going to do some damage. Folds in the pant legs, black kneecaps, brown boots. They're kind of plain, nothing there on the laces or anything like that. You get the gloves, you get the tattoo here on the forearm that shows that it does come from the neck, and I believe probably all the way down. I don't have his other figure. This one just really, really stood out to me, so I wanted to have that one for sure. Then I believe this has a bunch of little, you can probably unpeg this one, and then do different attachments, not here in the kit or anything like that, but you can make some match across the line, so pretty cool. Again, there's the head sculpt, the vest, arms, the back of it will separate, so you take it off, the belt, the legs, the different grenades, and that is our Sidewinder. For articulation, he does have a little hinge up there. You can pop these heads off pretty good. All the parts interchange really nicely, but you can see you got the little hinge there, which I love. I love having the hinge. They didn't break it all the way down into the neck, which is cool too. You don't really need to. You can still get some good motion out of there. So it looks down about that far, but it looks up really, really far. It looks really good. And of course, you got this joint at the base of the neck, so he does look down a little bit further, and then he does look up just a little bit more. But it looks really awesome. Really good articulation. You can move that all the way around, up and down. The tilt is really nice. And I think that looks really cool for, just a pose with this, with the paint on there. It just makes it look really cool. But butterfly joint, T pose goes a little past the T, upper bicep cut, double jointed elbows that go pretty decent, past 90. You've got your hinge and rotation here in the wrist. And we've got a diaphragm joint, which is going to allow you to kind of, it's hard to move around with this vest. It's kind of going to stop you from the diaphragm joint. And that part that popped off was just part of the vest there. So you can interchange different parts. It just pops right back in. But that's the vest without it on there. And again, diaphragm joint. And then we're using mostly the ball waist right now. So looks forward about that far. Goes back just about that far. The vest kind of gets in the way a little bit. But if you were to take this off, you'd get more range. Or if you put a different vest on there, doing some swapping. So it is just limited by this vest. But it is awesome that you can take it off and, maybe swap it for something else if you want to. Leg goes forward about that far. Pretty far. Back past neutral. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed knees. And then we got this upper cut here. Not quite the boot cut, but more into the pants. But it is meant to be like a boot cut. I wonder if they meant to paint that. Nah, I was going to say I wonder if they meant to paint that brown, like a top part, like a folded over the boot, but it's part of the pant leg. But it does look good, and it does hide that pretty decent. Pretty interesting. Most places probably would have cut it there at the actual boot. So I wonder what that decision was for. Just curious. Nothing wrong with that. I think that looks good, And that's it for his articulation. Let's put some stuff on him and get him posed up. Here is Sidewinder with the headgear on. So we've got the helmet, we've got his Uzis, we've got the suppressors in there. Then we can drop down the night vision, which looks really cool also. And it looks wild because it just looks like he's just smiling because of the paint. Maybe he's just having a good time. On the back, I've got his machete. Kind of want it to be across the back a little bit or something like that. You can angle it any way you want to. But maybe down here would have been kind of cool. And then I can have a backpack going. But I'll figure that out. Maybe there's something else I can work out. But you have some fun with your Uzis. Keeping them tight to the body. Maybe he's falling away backwards. Take the helmet off. Kind of like him without it. It's a nice sculpt. And again, that hair, it's good. Paid Good money for that haircut. Looks nice. Let's get that machine AK going, because it looks too nice to leave out. Of course, we've got our little scooping hand, which I absolutely love because it makes it look a little more natural. Like grabbing underneath. Really cool. Maybe he's just slowly creeping. Doing like a little heel toe walk or something. Clearing an area by himself. I'm sure I could get it to balance a little bit. Maybe he's going to do a quick mag change, something like that, which would be really nice. That hand lets you do a couple things, you know? Maybe he's going to have a grenade in it. He's going to throw that bad boy. Just really cool. Probably going to leave him with both trigger hands on there. Looks a little more natural that way. Got his machete. That looks awesome. Feel like he's spotted somebody and is kind of creeping up behind him. Maybe he's going to hook him around the neck and, you know, do his thing. Of course. Got our pistol. That looks really good. And there's a little suppressor in there too, so don't forget that. It is removable. Which adds to that, which looks great. And then you've got that hand again. Really dope. Looks awesome, right? Really nice. The accessories look really great on them, and you can get some good posing out of them. You can get a little bit of emotion out of them with, you know, just a slight tilt of the head, and looks cool. All right, so for a little comparison, we've got our Sidewinder next to a couple bone collectors. I figured I would use them because they have something just a little bit more extra rather than just being a little plain, like in the face area. But bone collector looks to be just a little bit maybe skinnier than our Sidewinder. Sidewinder looks like he has like thicker legs and just bigger, slightly bigger arms. Like he just looks like he has a bigger build than this bone collector. I believe this is the 100. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the 100. And then we've got our other one, and he looks bigger because of the armor, I believe, but he might be bigger overall anyways. But really cool designs to all of them. And I got this guy laying here, so I figure I'll throw him in there too. So we've got our Joe Trooper, who looks like he is looks like he's about the same size as our Sidewinder, but he also looks like a little bigger. I don't know what it is. Maybe because he looks about the same size and he doesn't have a vest on versus he's got a vest on. The legs looks like the hips are just a little bit higher, that sort of thing. So proportion wise, it's just kind of um, giving that impression, but they do end up standing about the same height. So that's pretty cool. And you can throw these guys on your Joes and that sort of thing. So that's what I do with mine, anyways. And we've got our trigger, and they look good. Trigger looks good, but they also look like they're like, hey, this is our daytime guy, and then this is like, I don't want to say like our version of Night Force, but like definitely he's doing some special ops type stuff. And since he was so special like that, and he gives off that impression, I thought I would bring in my Eclipse. So also has that special face paint and the look, and they look like they actually go together. They got this feel like almost like a sub team, like a Night Force look to both of them when you have them together like this. They both look great, and their face paints are amazing. So really, really awesome together. They got the tattoos, just something about them. And this is kind of how I was saying I wanted maybe possibly the machete to hang off. Because I think I'm gonna probably end up putting like a backpack on him, and I hate to lose that because the machete looks awesome. So if I have to give it up completely, I don't know that I would do it. We'll see what happens when I do that. But yeah, I mean, they look great together. And I wonder if there'll be other ones, or there probably are other ones that would fit in really nice with them. Or even customizing wise, finding some that would fit in pretty good with some of those darker bodies and everything like that. So really, really cool. So overall, I think this figure is really cool. I mean, I really like it. I knew it from the start, as far as seeing the design, that it was going to be really interesting and really appeal to me. I do like that style, and it just looks really, really good. I loved the packaging for it. That newer style packaging with the slide out card. I really like that. I do like the colors that they put on there. Again, it was like that purple and everything like that. It just pops. It really does. And there's a closer look at some of the skulls for the different variants. So you get the snake head. I believe this one had the blue, and then this one has the red, the spider webs. So be on the lookout for those ones. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got a couple of them of this guy. I was hoping to maybe get at least one of those. I mean, everybody hopes to get at least one. Um, but I didn't get one. But I'm not disappointed again at all, because the other one I could just pop another head on there and maybe do some swaps. I'll leave one at least stock like this, and the other one will be kind of switched around. And I think that's going to be like really awesome for me. Um, I think the figure looks great. Again, that face paint is really cool, even for not being a variant. The style, the colors, everything like that. The tattoos look amazing. The weapons, you got all the nades like on there. Of course, he comes with the pistol and suppressor there, submachine gun. So he's got some pretty good accessories. No backpack. Again, I wish I could get this down here maybe so I can rock a backpack. But no big deal either. I'll make something work. You got the interchangeable parts. I mean, this dude has a lot going on, and like in a good way. Really, really cool design, paint, everything. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good figure. And having it next to Eclipse right there, that's probably where he's going to go on the shelf too, next to her, because man, they look really great together. You can find a lot of really cool ways to use these guys, and I'm really, really digging this guy. So yeah, hopefully I showed you enough to help you out in deciding whether this guy is for you or not. Maybe you're hunting the variant. Maybe you don't care for the variants, but just want the body. Maybe you're scoping parts, and I hope I showed you enough of that to help you decide on what you're going to do with them if you're going to part it out before you even get it. So, yeah, as always, I hope it helped you out, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Later.